Hey, we get ready to talk to one of our favorite Chicago food influencers, Shanikky Eats. From iconic deep dish pizza to hidden gems tucked away in city corners, Shanikky shares her insights, favorites, and unforgettable foodie adventures. Join us for this exclusive interview with the one and only Shanikky Eats.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Man, absolutely. So, man, tell the people a little bit something about yourself and how you got into going around sampling restaurants and you a home chef too. You be cooking it up at home as well. So talk, how did you get into this?
Okay, so how did I get into this? Okay, so we're just gonna skip that. But I am from Chicago. Well, I'm from Dalton. I just gotta let everybody know. I just want that to be on the record because they always be trying to play me. I'm from Dalton, but we know that's still Chicago, and it's enough
Dalton,
Chicago.
Dalton and Harvey and Phoenix is still Chicago.
Right, right. So yes, that's where
Riverdale,
I'm
that's
from.
all
That's where I'm
Chicago.
from originally. Um, but I don't have a very wowing story. Basically pandemic, bored, want something to do. I actually started off as a travel content creator. People don't know that, but it was not enough travel content to, keep the contenting. And so in the meantime, I would do just cook because you gotta eat every day. Can't travel every day, but you gotta eat every day. So I was starting off that, and then but then I would always eat at restaurants, and then I just started, since I was doing the cooking, I'm like, let me start doing the restaurants. And then, one review took off, and then I'm just like, I just kept on with the restaurants, but I still do the cooking and the traveling. But it seems like most people know me for the restaurants.
What's your favorite thing to cook when you at home cooking?
This is so funny. I know that I know y'all seeing me eat some like wild things, but at home, I try to eat as healthy as possible. So one of my favorite meals is just like baked salmon and asparagus and like potatoes or like brown rice. I know that sounds so boring, but you got to have a balance when you doing this type of work.
Like, man, give me some bean soup and some salmon and rice, and I'm good. Sometimes, or whatever the situation is, they gonna try to fill you up. Oh,
Yes, you know what?
taste this, try that.
I try to make that known. As a woman, obviously, I'm looked at for my physical appearance, and so people always ask me like, "What did you eat all that food?" And it's just like, no, I didn't eat all the food. I just tasted it. Like, you taste food, don't you? And when like to go boxes exist, like I eat my leftovers, but I eat just as much as a normal person.
Right, right. And well, they do it with me real slick. Yeah, I know you got carbs. I see you got carbs. I'm like, yeah, okay, uh-huh.
Every time I see an intro, it takes me back to school. And it takes, if anybody is watching that's around my age, so like the 90s babies, they would say, we got carbs. And it always would be when people would be funny and bring like the big bags of chips to school. I don't know, so, you had the 25-cent bag, you had the dollar bag, but then you had the $2.50 bag, which is the bigger bag, which is like $7 now. But people would always say, I got carbs. And every time I hear intro, it makes me think of hot flamings.
That's funny. That's one of the games that we play. So,
right, got
we're gonna
carbs.
take it.
Like, what
We're gonna,
carbs on my stuff?
right, right. Because I called it. Yeah, but it's just now the theme is, man, we just want to celebrate and enjoy food together. So
Yeah.
we coming. We got carbs. We gonna eat. We gonna eat.
Right.
Yeah. So, all right. So now it started off with this is a pandemic creation that you have. It started during the pandemic, but now it's grown into something. And has it shifted how you looking at it now? Is it more just beyond a hobby now? It's a vision, it's a purpose behind it. Because I know you get a lot of feedback from restaurants, and you helping people, you helping to showcase the city and connect folks. So how do you see what you're doing now?
So now I'm not gonna lie. It's getting a little scary. It's getting a little scary serious. Before sometimes I was like, okay, I'm just posting a video on the internet. But now I see the impact that, my videos can make. And now I try to be a little bit more educated about it. So educated about the food, educated about the restaurant as a whole. And then at the same time, I don't want to lose myself in it. I'm big on that. I don't want to lose myself in it because, you know, things are getting serious and, you know, I really am impacting restaurants. And so, but I don't want to get lost into that. So I still try to have a good time with it, but yes, it's definitely getting serious and I am seeing the impact that I'm making and I am very thankful for that. And right now I'm in my give back phase because my platform has grown like exponentially over the past year. And so now, you know, it's helping me, I'm helping restaurants. And yeah, so I'm in my give back phase right now. Yeah, I got something in the store for December, you know, just a couple restaurants and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's not like this is gonna be like me, like, you know, helping out the restaurant, you know, with some showcase and stuff like that. But at the same time, I do understand that I can only do half the work. Like people think that I just want to tell people like I'm not Keith Lee. I want to be Keith Lee. I want to be a version of Keith Lee, but I'm not him. And it's like you have to do like I can only do like part of the work. I can bring people to you, but you also have to, you know, satisfy them as well. So it's not all me. It's right. Like it's a group effort. It's a group effort amongst all of us.
Right. That's right.
One thing I love about Chicago is this diversity. I've eaten so many places. You know what? I just made a list and I think I have hit every major city in America. What's like the top 8? Like I've been in New York, Miami, Houston, Dallas, LA, you know, all the bigger cities. And nothing can compare to the level of diversity and quality that Chicago has. And that's one thing I love about Chicago. Mm-hmm. I often get into arguments. So look, my favorite city that's not Chicago is New Orleans, like in terms of food.
Okay. And,
you know, in a city, in terms of food, is New Orleans. And I often get into arguments with them because, you know, people love to say, you know, they have the best cuisine and stuff like that. And I always got to put a stop to it. Like, yes, you know, y'all got it on the Creole. Y'all got it on seafood. But no other city has the depth of Chicago. Right. I'm like, I had to send somebody comments like, yes, I love some gumbo. I love some jambalaya, some scallops or something like that. But what if I want some pizza? What if I want a burger? What if I want, where would I get good chicken from that's not Popeyes? And you can't do that. I feel like, right. You know what? You can't do that anywhere except in Chicago. And that's one thing I love about it because I'm a foodie to try a variety of all types of food right here in my own city.
Yep, that's a fact.
Right. And it's just like the depth and the diversity that Chicago has, you know, it really makes for, it's really great for my career as a content creator because I don't have to focus on one type of food. I can literally go and eat anything that I want. I'm not gonna say anything, but I can eat a big variety. I can choose from a big variety of things to showcase, to do, you know, you can do it all in Chicago.
Right. You can do it all. So, all right. So let's go 5 years from now.
Okay.
You know, but just the creators coming out of Chicago, how do you think that we may impact Chicago restaurants as a whole? And what does that mean for other cities?
I am sort of crediting, if you notice that Eddie V's is closing and what is the other restaurant? The Grand Lux is closing. I attributed some of that to the rise of food creators. And that's not a bad thing. It's now that because of creators, people are aware of the different variety of types of food that they can get. Before, when you think about Chicago, at least like the downtown area and bringing people an awareness of Chicago, you know, just like Chicago as a whole, you know, people come to Chicago, you know, I think we got a pretty decent tourism, you know, population or something like that. And when they're deciding where to eat, they really didn't have much information. All they knew was close. Most people even no matter what city you go to, New York, LA, then most people are going to stay in the metropolis area, meaning the downtown area. And so people, you know, frequenting those restaurants like Eddie V's and Grand Lux and things like that. Now with the rise of food creators, I do think it is increasing the awareness of the city as a whole. So Chicago isn't just downtown. Chicago isn't just Michigan Avenue. Like Chicago is a food mecca, and it is food. It is, you know, options. It is great options. It's quality options outside of the downtown area. And I do think that's what we're coming to. And I know I'm grabbing this out of my neck. I have no research, but I really do think like the rise of creators is like impacting the big name restaurants, because this is like
Man, look,
they're not going to be people's only choice when they're in Chicago. People are research is easier, thanks to TikTok and Instagram. Research for, food, which you do need to eat every day. It's available, and people are going to go to those different options that they see on social media. So that's where I think we're heading. So I think like the big name restaurants do need to like they better get on their Zoom. They better get on their Zoom, because me and my foodies are coming. And it's not necessarily at them, but we're coming with different options. And when presenting different options, people will go.
man, I feel you. I think that's true. I agree with that. When I heard of Grand Lux first, when it was the signature room, I was like, I don't know. I don't. It
Oh
may
yeah,
right. The
I got
signature
that.
room, Grand Lux, and like you said, Eddie. So before the pandemic, I counted roughly 200, maybe 220 Black-owned restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
Post pandemic, it's around 490. It's almost 500.
Oh wow, that's really great.
No, I mean, think about it. Think about a lot of new places just opened up.
They are getting them open. And you know what's so funny between you and the Black foodies? And I just like, bro, oh, yes. I like to see it. I love to see that, Black people are opening up these restaurants, showing people that, the quality of cuisine that they can get in Chicago. Yeah, I like it.
All right, so is there anything I didn't ask that you get asked, or you think that people should know when they're watching your videos?
They'll be like, I'm lying about the food because they had a bad experience. They're like, why did you think that? Why do you think? Because okay, maybe one time, maybe two times, but then they'll be like, this be like the sixth video. Like, why would you think I would go to all these restaurants and it would not taste good, and I would sit there? First of all, content creation take a lot of time. Like, people think that they like my
Right.
videos because the food is good. You don't. You like the videos because I do the videos well. That takes time. Like, why would you think I would spend all this time to talk about something that I didn't like? Like,
Right.
I think that mindset is crazy, but that's just me. And that's what I be want to tell people. Like, the mindset of you thinking I'm doing all this and something isn't good with me, the service wasn't good with me, like, to think that's crazy.